Shung, shung. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn about the mutant powers together.
You know all those parents who took their young kids to see Deadpool, then got super offended by how mature the movie was? Can the opening to Deadpool 2 just be him delivering a PSA on the movie rating system to...
Nah, it was more of a family-friendly sort of movie. Part 2!
All parents who don't know better? Now that would be incredible. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory,
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory!
Show that's gonna get through an entire Deadpool episode without mentioning chimichangas once. Oh wait, does that count? Crap! But if I can get serious here for a moment, this year, Bill and Melinda Gates, yes, those Gates, reached out to me, yes, that me.
Oh my god, they look so young and such innocence and purity, so truthfulness. So genuine.
To do a video about superpowers. It's pretty awesome, right? You see,
pretty awesome, man.
Every year, the Gateses write a letter outlining their take on key global issues, with this year's letter being called 2 Superpowers We Wish We Had. In the letter, they challenge the reader to imagine what their superpower for good would be.
And I really respect the foundations into helping global crisis, like for example, the current global pandemic, global warming, global starvation.
The goal of the letter is to broaden awareness and get each of
global poverty, a lot of global issues that we need to tackle. I respect this individual.
us involved to help make a positive, lasting change in the world. It's an incredibly noble cause, and honestly, I'm honored to be included as a part of the campaign. It's funny, but when I think of what I can do to try and make a positive change in the world, I honestly think of these channels. Because yeah, for as goofy and inane as it might be to analyze the real-world physics of Ant-Man's suit or the deadliness of a bullet bill, I like to think that it's giving you a bit of education along the way, maybe brightening your day. And so no, it's not curing cancer or anything, but I'm never gonna be the type to do that. Instead, I like to think that these videos make at least some of your worlds just a little bit happier, and teach some of you at least something new every week.
I really like it that this sort of edutainment videos that the theorist community made, they're just awesome and very enjoyable to watch. Fun! Super cheerful, by the way.
Who knows, I might be living in a dream world. Anyway, sappy stuff aside, as I was thinking about what superpower I'd want, I immediately thought, I want to be Deadpool.
I am very turned on right now.
Not quite in that way. I want his healing factor. In the world of comic books, it's a pretty common ability that does exactly what it sounds like, enhancing a person's ability to recover from wounds quickly. There are tons of different variations of the healing factor ability across comic books, but probably the 2 most iconic are Wolverine's and, of course, Deadpool.
Wolverine Deadpool!
And this relationship is no coincidence. Deadpool got his healing factor from a serum derived from Wolverine. What? Do they just have needles full of the stuff lying around? Go into the old Walgreens, get my flu vaccine, and follow up with a healing factor chaser?
And in the meantime, do remember to take your vaccines for COVID-19. Thank you so much. Be a good human being for society. Thank you.
Great! Sign me up!
Oh, God, you are hard to look at.
Oh, is that what happens? Well, good thing most of my channels are voiceover anyway. Their regenerative ability gives them an incredibly strong resistance to chemicals and toxins, which is great for protecting against vats of acid, and not so great for getting drunk. It also boosts the immune system, rendering them pretty well protected against most diseases. It even gives them resistance to telepathic control, so no one's hopping into Deadpool's head commanding him to dress as a girl. He's just doing that all on his own. The factor is so...
Well, I really like it that you mentioned immunity to diseases, especially this current COVID-19. So, yeah, coronavirus disease, unfortunately. Do remember to stay safe.
So quick that it keeps the body's cells from growing old, halting aging almost completely. In short, Deadpool and Wolverine are both basically immortal, which begs the question, how do you kill them?
How immortal are you?
How do you kill the unkillable? If I'm gonna inject myself with healing factor, what do I need to look out for here? Well, after doing the research, it looks like most sources have overlooked the factors 1, huge weakness. The fatal flaw that makes it easy to take down these two characters. Well, most sources have overlooked it anyway, and it's gonna surprise you which one happens to be the most accurate. Now first, let me make it clear that I know both characters have died before, but honestly, it's tended to result from some pretty cheap means. So I'm discounting—
Oh no, don't say that, come on, don't say that. There's a film coming up soon from this part of the video in which Logan, a lot of people cried. I cried. So yeah.
all things that turn off or counteract the healing factor. That, quite frankly, is a cop-out from writers who wrote themselves into a corner by making characters that were too powerful. In my analysis today, we're finishing these guys off in a perfectly natural way that doesn't require some magical anti-heal. Additionally, we're not pulling a Dragon Ball Z and talking about disintegrating every last cell. Too easy as an explanation, and quite frankly, too difficult to actually execute. I mean, in Uncanny X-Men Annual number 11, Wolverine actually grows his entire body back from a single drop of blood. That's pretty darn impressive. I'd like to see that in the next X-Men movie. But in all seriousness, that's assuming you're able to disintegrate him that fast, which in and of itself is a challenge. I mean, in Venom number 9, Wolverine is able to heal after a nuclear bomb destroys a village. A nuclear bomb! And if you think he just got lucky, well, think again. It happens another time in Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk. Lightning may not strike twice, but apparently nuclear warheads do. Look, the how to kill them problem is so bad that even Professor Charles Xavier doesn't know. In his Xavier protocols, which are basically his to-do list for when a powerful mutant becomes a threat to the world, he makes a note to himself that reads thusly: decapitation. And you'd think that this is a guy who'd know, right? I mean, say what you want about his non-stop cries of agony in the animated series. The guy is smart, a world leader in mutant abilities, and yet for super healers like Wolvie and DP, decapitation has also been disproven. Man, if you can't behead him and if a bomb can't disintegrate him fast enough, what's gonna do it? I don't know, 2 alternate universe Earths smashing together? Wow, what an oddly specific cosmic event I've just described there.
Wow, what an oddly specific cosmic event that you just mentioned. Such a coincidence.
But yes, actually, that'll do it. A multi-universe Earth crash is the exact reason why Deadpool is currently dead in the comics. But again, I'm just a simple man with totally average cosmic altering powers, and I need something that doesn't need to escalate that quickly. Put those nuclear warheads—
They escalate that way too quickly.
That's away. Put them away. No. Good. Because the healing factor's weakness is much simpler than all of this. Wolverine, and especially Deadpool, are vulnerable to every single one of you viewers watching right now. And it all has to do with the brain, or more specifically, memories. Because sure, these guys may be able to regenerate their whole body from a single drop of blood, but one thing the factor can't regenerate is memory. Let me explain. You see, the first thing to understand about memory formation and why you can't regenerate memories is that memories aren't stored. They're not physical things. Neurons, the cells in the brain, are physical things, and healing factor is made to restore or replace damaged cells. But neurons are not the same as memories, and that's the problem here.
So neurons aren't memories. Interesting.
Memories are signals. A short-term memory, say the last Diet Coke you drank, is a pattern of signals in your mind. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag just an addict. Say you drink a Diet Coke and the sensation you get from it trigger a signal in specific neurons in your prefrontal cortex, the area that stores short-term memory. That signal starts off as an electric potential created by ions moving in and out of the cells at one end of the neuron. That electrical signal then triggers a chemical signal, which is a physical transfer of ions from one neuron to another.
So, electricity inside your brain. Interesting.
Physically transferring ions causes the electrical signals in the next neuron to change, which is how the electrical and chemical signal is carried across a lot of neurons. In short, it's a chain reaction. So how then do these signals create memories? Well, each of your memories has a specific chain reaction of signals across a specific set of neurons.
And if something screws up or mess up, it can alter the memory, and you can thus remember it wrongly, incorrectly. After all, this human error.
Your Diet Coke signal started the first time you cracked open a Diet Coke and felt its cool, crisp, refreshing burn slide down your throat. When you took that first sip, some of your taste neurons sent a signal to some of your other taste neurons in a specific pattern as you thought, this is bubbly and habit-forming. The pattern of neurons firing for your drinking Diet Coke memory is different from the pattern for your drinking orange juice memory, or your tasting chocolate pattern. It's specifically your Diet Coke pattern, and it gives you a specific memory of Diet Coke. I swear this isn't sponsored, I just have a problem. Now, let me be clear. All electrical signals going on between two individual neurons is basically the same across the entirety of your brain. What makes something a memory is the specific set of neurons that are activated in association with a particular activity.
With a specific activity.
Brain has 100 million neurons, so if a few of them are involved in each memory, the brain has the theoretical potential to store almost an infinite number of memories based on how many combinations of neurons there are and how many unique patterns of signals you can create. In this way, the brain is an incredible storage system. And how do these things get stored? Well, when you experience something once, a few of your neurons start a signal pattern. When you think back to remember that experience, your brain is actually recreating that same signal pattern again. When you've only experienced something once, you can only dimly recreate that pattern when you think about it, or it fades away pretty fast. If you want to improve your recall of that experience, you have to reinforce it. To do that, you have to experience it again. So you drink a second Diet Coke, then another, and before long you have an emotional dependence.
So yeah, that happens. Please be aware of it. So yeah, moving on.
#winning. Every time you repeat the activity, you trigger the same signal pattern over and over again, and your brain starts to store that pattern in a long-term memory area, the hippocampus. The neurons get a little bit closer to each other, and when that happens, the signal becomes stronger because chemicals don't have to travel that far. The signals also become stronger and more frequent, so over time, those memories become ingrained because the signal patterns have been used so much. So then, why can't Wolverine or Deadpool just regenerate memories? Quite frankly, it's because there's nothing to regenerate. Based on what we've outlined, the memory isn't part of the neuron, it's a pattern of signals between neurons. It's a tricky concept, so let me explain it this way. When you learn about physics, you learn about electrical currents, which is a movement of electrons. You can think of memories in a lot the same way. In physics, you can measure an electric current, you can turn it on and off, etc. But it's not a physical thing you can hold in your hand. The current runs through the wires and generates electricity. But just because you make a wire doesn't mean there's automatically a current running through it. In humans, you can theoretically rebuild the neurons. They're a lot like the wires running all through the brain, but just having the neurons there doesn't mean that the right electrical pattern will run through them. Memories only happen when the specific neurons in your brain have already experienced something. New cells don't come equipped with memories. When you regenerate an arm or a leg or a creepy little baby hand, those are new body parts, and their function doesn't require you to have experienced something before. But newly regenerated neurons are like baby neurons. They're brand new. They're a blank slate, which is great because they're intact, but bad because only neurons with experiences have memories. New neurons have to start from scratch, even if they're all in the right place. To put it simply, our two super healers can grow back the brain cells, sure, but not the brain's electrical patterns. And as a result, they're a blank shell, a husk, a being without memories. Think about it. Sure, they may look like Wolverine and Deadpool, but they won't act like them. Without those neural connections, they lose the elite fighting training and arrogant personalities that make them them. It's something that, in my research, literally no one has addressed. Well, almost no one. And that is the biggest irony of all. In the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, oh yeah, we're talking about that one. A movie, mind you, that is on practically every list of worst superhero movies of all time. The villain Stryker shoots Wolverine multiple times in the head with adamantium bullets, piercing his skull and destroying his brain. His line as he does this, his brain may heal, but his memory won't grow back. And of course, this is exactly what happens. His brain is destroyed and his memories go away. Wolverine has amnesia. And remember, this is a movie so bad that it didn't give Deadpool a mouth. Deadpool, the merc with a mouth. You had one job, guys.
You have one job, guys!
One. Then they chose to make him look like Baraka from Mortal Kombat because why not? It's a
Mortal Kombat!
movie so bad that they mistakenly think that wolves are the same as wolverines. They can't get that right, but somehow they're the only one who's able to get the science right? I don't even know what to say. And here's the thing, Deadpool is even more vulnerable than Wolverine was in this scene. Logan's skeleton is coated with adamantium, a fictional metal that's basically the hardest material ever created.
Similar to vibranium, I think. Which one is better? Vibranium or adamantium? Cat Chat, can you help me comment on it? Thank you so much. Thank you.
It took bullets made of the stuff to puncture his skull and damage his brain, which, again, is a huge oversight based on canon lore around adamantium, whatever. This movie sucks. Deadpool, though, on the other hand, doesn't have that advantage. Despite his incredible healing abilities, he still just has a normal human skeleton. Just one well-placed bullet hitting either the frontal cortex or hippocampus
Calcium bones.
would knock out
Not adamantium bones.
huge percentages of his memory. Of course, his healing abilities would kick in and his head would repair itself, but it wouldn't have any of Wade Wilson's memories, or any memories at all. It would be completely empty, like wiping a hard drive. Destroy the brain, and Wade Wilson, as we know him, ceases to be. Kind of
Oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't expect that. It's like factory reset, right? Is it? Is it factory reset? Huh, interesting.
like a zombie. I think Deadpool would appreciate that sort of reference. In the end, I guess it just goes to show, oftentimes good science doesn't result in good movies. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. And before you go, a huge thank you once again to Bill and Melinda Gates for reaching out to me to pontificate a bit about superheroes. Now that I'm wrapping up this video, I recommend
Thank you so much for the foundations in helping solve global crisis. Thank you.
taking the next 5 minutes to read their annual letter by clicking the link in the description. If we're talking about real-life superheroes, then the Gateses are two people who definitely fall in that category, using their global influence to inspire others to make a positive difference in the world around them. So read.
It's not just a nation, not a country, not an empire, not a continent, but the entire globe. The entire... internationally.
Read the letter and get inspired to
the whole planet.
make your mark on the world. Though you may not be the person who cures cancer or brings electricity to Central Africa. Oddly specific reference, I know, but it's in the letter. Remember that being a hero doesn't require something big. You can be someone else's hero by just saying or doing something small for someone else. So go ahead. Today, tell your parents that you love them. Tell a coworker
I love you, all of you.
you appreciate them. Take some time to get to know the quiet kid who sits alone at lunch. The world will be a better place for it, one person at a time. And finally, enough sappiness, but let me know in the comments, if you could have one superpower, what would you want? If you say flying, I don't blame you. It's in my top 3, along with healing factor and, I don't know, the power of musical theater. They shall call me Show Tunes Lad. Or something. No, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go. Crisp high five? Crisp high five.
Well, what will you choose? What will your superpower be? If I was to choose right here, right now, maybe my superpower will be like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, something like that. But that's five different superpowers. Sorry. Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share. Oh, one more time. Okay. Like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. And subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.